Paragon guy, kind of born and raised in a farm family and continue to farm in Paragon, somewhere along there. I met my future wife, a tourist girl from Southampton, yeah.
I was fortunate to always spend my summers in Southampton. My mom was a teacher, so we spent all summer up here. After university, I worked in Toronto for a couple of years, then got married and moved here. Lucky to be able to live here, that's for sure.
We had 2 boys, Brady and Josh. Josh is now 28.
He's 28, almost 29. Brady would be 31. He and I were coming home from a hockey tournament one time, and it was just the 2 of us. He starts talking about his brother, and he says, "Hey, Mom, you got to admit, I'm a better hockey player than Josh, aren't I?" And I'm like, thinking, I don't know what this is about, but I said, "You know, you guys are both really strong hockey players. You both have your own strengths." And he kept saying, "No, but Mom, it's just the 2 of us. Like, you can tell me." And he's pushing. I turn and look over, and here's videotaping. Well, his laugh at that time, I'll never forget. He had this, like he just thought it was funny, and it was funny. I'm like, oh, because I thought, what are you doing? And I'm sure that would have been, right off to his brother the moment that I ever said anything even close to that. But that was Brady. He always liked to, the practical joker, the prankster.
He was working for us on the farm, and I remember having him lunch with him. That's a very significant thing in the last few hours with Brady. And then the accident. And I knew then I wanted to get to Susie and Josh. I wanted to grab my family and hang on to them.
I remember Jim calling me and just saying, Brady's had an accident. And I said, well, I'm in Southampton. I can go to the hospital. And he said, no, just go to your mom's. I'll see you at your mom's. Then he and Josh pulled up with a couple of guys from the fire department, and I thought, then I just, I knew. But it was pretty tough. Friends came that night, it just...
Complete strangers dropping off food.
Yeah. Oh, the community is just, living in a small community, you just realize, wow, we are so fortunate. He had a very close group of friends growing up, and, they called themselves the flock. On his gravestone, we have a bird that sort of represents the flock.
It was very hard on them, too, obviously. You think of the family, but Brady's close friends and those kids that he grew up with. That whole group, they cared for each other, and they look out for each other.
Hearing the stories about what Brady had done or how he had touched people, the kindness and care and concern that people had, it just helped us live. I remember crying my heart out in the break room of Independent when Brady Cayley walks in and sits with me and tells me I have the most beautiful smile and to never let anyone take that from me. I've honestly told myself that every single time I need a reminder to stop letting others get to me. I wish I'd thanked you for this sooner, Brady. But that was just the type of person you always were. Rest easy, man. You're so, so, so loved.
Yeah.
Very soon after the accident, one of his friends had a barn and put out to social media that he was having a kind of get-together to remember Brady. They came to us a few days later and they had this $1,500, and we were shocked. I mean, we just didn't realize that was even part of what they were doing.
I don't think any of them were ever doing fundraising. They just knew they wanted to do something. They said, "Here, Jim and Sue, here's some money. Do what you want with everyone."
And so then we were like, what are we going to do with this? We thought of lots of things. We said, we want to do something to give back to the community that has supported us so much. I saw some stuff about Graham Fondo on social media, and I said, hey, this kind of seems like it might be something that could fit. We could have kind of a memorial ride for us about Brady.
It's an activity. It supports local community. It brings all of our friends and family together.
Yeah, anybody could participate. Even though it might sound intimidating at first, it's not. It's just a ride. You're not racing. It's a great day to be out. We started the Brady Bunch in 2019, so a year after it began, and it's been just amazing. When we decided that we were going to have team shirts made up, we even talked to his friends to say, hey, what colors do you think it should be? And they all agreed, and he wore this same shirt. He loved it, and he wore it a lot. That's where our purple shirts came from. To date, for the 5 years that we've been involved. The Brady Bunch has raised, I think, just over $110,000 for Saugeen Memorial, so we're pretty proud of that. Brady's friends were very important to him. You know, they're all going to use the hospital. It's something that not only in general the community that had supported us in that awful time will use the hospital, but they will too. The things that the hospital is able to purchase or services or whatever they're able to offer because of the fundraising from the Grand Fondo, just
Everyone benefits.
everybody benefits. So it's such a worthwhile cause.
And I sort of joke with other physicians sometimes that, you can call me on a plane, see if there's a doctor there, but without my bag of tricks, I'm really no different than anyone else on the street with a Band-Aid. I can tell you exactly what's wrong, but without the equipment available, we can't really fix it. The way that OHIP insurance works is for operating budgets and for staffing. Ministry of Health funding does not cover anything that's called capital investment, or essentially buying things like a CT scanner, an ultrasound machine, ventilators, all of the things that would be a physical object that you purchase for the hospital. The technology advances so quickly that you kind of have to replace this stuff every sort of 5 to 10 years. That requires capital investment, and that's what we fundraise for. And the CT scanner behind us has really changed the game. We're so thankful that everyone has helped us raise the money to get into this, including the Grand Fondo, which has been a fantastic source of support.
I'm not a guy to ask for help, but there's a one time a year for the community, for the hospital, for Brady, for their friends. I get on the phone and I ask to those wanting to fundraise for the Fondo, don't be shy. People want to help.
And they want to support the hospital. It's something that we need here, we want it to thrive, and in order for that to happen, it's really up to us.
Donating to the hospital is the most direct way that you can support healthcare in your community. The Fondo especially, raising money for the local area, and with Brady's story and the groundswell that the community's really put out for him has been absolutely incredible.
I never realized how many purple shirts he had.
Wrap on. That's a good
And
thing.
this is why we need the hospital.
If you've lost a child, there's 2 days of the year that are very hard, and that's their birthday is always hard, and the day of their accident or their passing is a very hard day. The exact opposite is the Fondo. It's the day we celebrate Brady.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a great day. We really hope that anybody who is in the community or outside of the community that would like to join us joins us. We just every year add to the purple shirts, and seeing that sea of purple Brady Bunch shirts is wonderful. So it provides a lot of love and support for us.
It's the one day of the year when we get together and celebrate Brady. Spirit does live on that day, on that ride.